Breaking news in hip-hop as Drake's latest release has fans dissecting every bar. Critics are calling it his most introspective work yet, diving deep into personal struggles and industry politics. Unlike typical mainstream offerings, this project showcases raw vulnerability and technical mastery. What does it take to bring two of hip-hop's biggest names together? You'd expect it to be carefully orchestrated with contracts, meetings, and tons of planning. But sometimes it's all about timing, the right people, and a bit of serendipity. That's exactly what happened when Pusha T and the Clipse linked up with Kendrick Lamar for their new album Let God Sort Him Out. This wasn't just another collaboration, it was a power move in the making, one that would shake the industry and set the stage for some unforgettable drama. Today we're diving deep into the story behind that iconic Kendrick feature, the controversy it stirred, and how it ultimately led to Clipse severing ties with Def Jam in one of the most high-stakes power plays of their career. Buckle up, because what happens next might just shock you. The story of Clipse and Kendrick Lamar working together starts with a casual moment, a bit of luck, and an unforgettable decision. Pusha T recently opened up about how it all went down. According to him, it was a matter of right place, right time. While working on Let God Sort Him Out, Clipse had a traffic of people coming in and out of their studio. One of those visitors just happened to be someone from Kendrick's camp. At first, it wasn't even a formal meeting. They let Kendrick's team hear the album, and that's when things took an unexpected turn. The response was immediate. Kendrick's team was blown away. Kendrick himself was busy with his own projects at the time, but the moment he heard the tracks, something clicked. He called back laughing, saying, "Okay, I gotta do it. Don't worry about it, I wanna do too." And just like that, Kendrick Lamar, one of the most influential voices in hip-hop, was on the album. No big meeting, no formal contract, just pure unfiltered chemistry. Sometimes the stars just align. Now, why was this collaboration so significant? It wasn't just about the names involved, it was about the lyricism. Pusha T had a clear vision for Let God Sort Him Out. He knew that the soul of the album would lie in the words. This wasn't a commercial project, this was about true artistry. And who better to bring on than Kendrick Lamar, known for his unparalleled lyricism. In his interview, Pusha T explained the connection between Clipse and Kendrick. He said, "Clipse and Kendrick together, that speaks lyricism. I don't think anyone wants anything other than that." And he's right. When you bring two artists together who are known for pushing the boundaries of hip-hop's lyrical standards, something magical happens. The world expected nothing less than greatness. It wasn't just about making a hit, it was about creating a track that would make people stop and think, questioning everything they knew about hip-hop. Kendrick and Clipse were cut from the same cloth, and their collaboration was a testament to the power of authentic, raw lyricism. But the story doesn't end there. The moment Kendrick's verse hit the track, all hell broke loose. The song Chains and Whips became one of the most talked about moments on the album. But what made it so controversial? It wasn't just about Kendrick's incredible verse, it was about the message, the bravado, and the raw energy he brought to it. And that energy, as Pusha T revealed, didn't sit well with everyone. Def Jam, the label that Clipse had been with for years, was less than thrilled with Kendrick's feature. The label, concerned about the optics and potential fallout, demanded that Kendrick censor his verse. But Pusha T wasn't having it. He stood firm, refusing to let anyone alter Kendrick's words. The situation escalated quickly. Def Jam's next move, they asked Pusha T to remove the track entirely. But Pusha wasn't about to give in. The tension between the duo and the label grew as Def Jam continued to push for changes to the song. And that's when the unthinkable happened. According to Pusha T, things got heated. Def Jam wasn't just requesting edits anymore, they were threatening to drop Clipse entirely. Pusha T recalled a conversation with the label. "They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing, and then they wanted me to take the record off." But Pusha wasn't backing down. He wasn't going to compromise the integrity of the album or Kendrick's contribution. It was clear that the relationship with Def Jam had soured, and it wasn't just about creative differences anymore, it was about control. Eventually, after a month of pushing back, Pusha was hit with an ultimatum from Def Jam. "If you won't make the changes, we'll drop you." But that wasn't the end of the conversation. Pusha T didn't just see his relationship with Def Jam ending, he also realized that at this point he still had leverage. After all, He was the one who brought the heat to the label, both as a solo artist and as part of Clipse. What happened next was a move few artists would dare to make. The Clipse brothers, Pusha T and Malice, decided to take control of their careers. They weren't going to let a label dictate their creative vision. According to their manager, Steven Victor, the decision was a bold one. The label wanted them out, but they weren't going down without a fight. Victor explained how the Clipse paid a massive sum to get out of their contract. They said find another deal, and let's figure out a business. They didn't drop us, they were like pay us this money, which was a huge amount of money, and we'll let you out the deal. It wasn't a small price to pay. We're talking about a huge financial sum, one that made even the most successful artists stop and think twice. But Clipse, undeterred and determined to maintain their creative freedom, wrote the check. It wasn't just about money, it was about their artistic vision. They refused to compromise their work just to please a label. They bought their freedom, and in doing so they regained control over their careers. So what's the fallout of all this? The collaboration with Kendrick Lamar might have seemed like a moment in time, but it ended up being much more than that. Clipse didn't just release an album, they took a stand. By severing ties with Def Jam, they sent a message to the music industry. Artists are in charge of their own destinies. The partnership with Kendrick, though, added a unique layer to their legacy. It was an alliance that created ripples throughout hip-hop, with many wondering just how much the move affected the duo's future plans. After all, Let God Sort 'Em Out was more than just an album. It was a statement. And what's next for Clipse? Could this be the beginning of a new era for them? With full creative control, and no labels dictating their direction, they've got the freedom to take things in whatever direction they want. The possibilities are endless. In the end, the real question is, was it all worth it? Was the fallout with Def Jam worth the freedom they gained? Pusha T and Malice certainly think so. They paid the price, and in return they've ensured that no one will ever compromise their art again. What does this mean for the future of Clipse? With the Kendrick feature, the controversy, and the battle for creative control behind them, we can't help but wonder, what's next? Stay tuned, because the story of Clipse is far from over.